Hey frag heads and fragrance lovers, welcome back. It's good old Benjamin here at the Scentaur Fragrance Channel. How you doing? What are you smelling like? And what's your scent of the day? Let me know in the comment section below. And let's jump into the fragrance. Y'all saw the title. This is none other than lemaleparfum, or lemaleparfum. I guess that's what they want us to call it. So let me spray this to remind myself of the fragrance. Some of y'all have told me in the past that you like that I actually show that I've sprayed the fragrance. I don't know. Let me know. Do you care about that in the comment section? Anyways, this is a nice fragrance. It's actually my favorite from the house. I actually thought In the Navy was a pretty solid, kind of like Jean Paul Gaultier's attempt at a blue fragrance. Pretty solid, very mass appealing fragrance. Actually a big compliment getter. And I don't know why people don't talk about In the Navy. It's actually one of the biggest compliment getters out there. It's really flying under the radar, but this one is actually going to be a really big top seller. This is a new release. I think that people are going to, they're going to forget about most of the line. There's still going to be people who are loyal to the original Jean Paul Gaultier who are still going to buy it, but I think they're just going to forget about Aviator and In the Navy. And some people will still probably like the Eau Fresh, the Popeye, and the Superman and all that, but they're going to forget about the other ones. They really are. Even the Essence, which is kind of like a La Nuit de l'Homme kind of fragrance, the Essence version. But this one here is really good. It's got cardemom at that kind of seductive, almost like smooth, comforting spice that a lot of people look for. Love cardemom. It's one of the reasons why, again, La Nuit de l'Homme was such a big hit. It had its magic, and it just did everything that people wanted. So cardemom here is great. It still has a little bit of that bitterness. I don't know why. Jean Paul Gaultier's cardemom smells has a tiny bit of bitterness to it. Maybe it's a little bit more green instead of more aged. Not really sure about that, but it's still really likable. There is a tiny bit of the lavender and the mint from the original fragrance in here, but it's very much in the background. Again, what I get out of this fragrance is that cardamom, but then they have a little bit of iris mixed in here as well. Is this fragrance lipsticky? No. Does it smell like Dior Homme? No, not really. But does the iris here add a certain smoothness to the fragrance? Almost a tiny bit of butteriness? Yes, it does. And this fragrance does feel a little bit darker. You just look at the bottle here. That's what they were going for. And I think that they were able to make a seductive, charming date night fragrance flanker of their original. So, of course, you can wear a fragrance anywhere, anytime you want. But I think this fragrance is intended to be a little bit more of a date night fragrance, a little bit out on the town, a little bit, get out there and be scandalous type of fragrance. So it's really nice, guys. I think that this is going to be a pretty big top seller in the designer fragrance game. I think that this is kind of, something, it's not really doing anything too different with the cardamom and the lavender, but it's still seductive. It's still likable. I don't think it's going to revolutionize the fragrance world. It's not going to take the fragrance by storm, the fragrance industry by storm, and change it all up. But I do think that it's going to be a pretty good top seller. And again, La Nuit de l'Homme has lost some of its popularity. It's been reformulated to death. Not everybody talks about it as much, but it's still a solid fragrance, especially if you're going to be close to your significant other or that special person in your life. It still can work. But I think that this one is going to might take up that mantle as a seductive date night, designer fragrance that's approachable and affordable and accessible, so you can actually buy it. So, nice fragrance, guys. I think it's worth checking out, and I like that it feels a little bit more dark. It feels a little bit more seductive in the designer world of things. Again, it's going to work for you absolutely for date night. Performance-wise, this fragrance is solid. Performance-wise, I got anywhere from like 9 hours or so, 7 to 9 hours. It's actually not the strongest projecting, but it does project pretty respectably. I get a little bit above average. Some people might think that this is a parfum and they're trying to make it a very strong fragrance, that it's going to be a big projector. I got pretty respectable projection, but I actually almost wanted more with this fragrance. You always want more, but not beast mode, but good projection. And sillage, I was kind of surprised. I thought that this would have a really big scent trail. Don't get me wrong, it does have sillage, but I was expecting it to have an extreme scent cloud about this, scent cloud or sillage with this fragrance, like when you walk past people they can notice it. Can they pick up on it? Yes, but it's a little bit more on above average. It's not really extreme or the best sillage fragrance ever. which surprised me. But again, above average performance, no doubt about it. It'll get the job done. So compliment factor wise, this fragrance was interesting. Sometimes it truly was seductive and it really did sweep people off their feet. It really did the magic. But sometimes people thought it was, not that it was mature, but sometimes there was people who thought it was almost like, I don't know, almost like a boy toy type of fragrance. Almost like you're, a young guy trying to impress maybe like an older lady. And that's not a bad thing. And of course that might be something you're into. But it's a fragrance to me that has, some playfulness and some youthfulness and some sweetness. But it also does have a little bit, it's not maturity to it, but it's got this, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a bad boy type of vibe, but maybe like an older gentleman who's still a player. I don't know if that makes sense. It's not the guy in the leather coat, or it's not the guy with the cigar. It's the guy who still has a youthful hairstyle, and maybe he's into his 30s or 40s, and maybe he still likes to talk and maybe he still likes to go and try to dance, at the clubs or something like that. So it has this kind of, almost sometimes a try-hard type of personality about it. So that was kind of funny that some people kind of told me that, but it's a nice fragrance though. It works. I think it's going to work for you. I think it's worth giving a try. I'm excited to see more fragrance reviewers actually review this fragrance and, get the word out on what they think about it and see how this fragrance sells in the fragrance industry. Again, because of this world and how crazy this year was in 2020. A lot of things have been crazy, and a lot of us haven't gotten to test these fragrances out there as much as, they've wanted to, including myself. But it's going to be interesting, and hopefully this one's not forgotten. Us getting into the year 2021, I hope that this one, people still test this one, give it a chance, and see if it's a good one, instead of forgetting about it and moving to the next best thing. This fragrance still needs to deserve a little bit of the limelight. So anyways, guys, nice fragrance. Jean Paul Gautier lemaleparfum. Solid release from the house. Again, not the most creative. It does have a little bit of addition of iris. They've had cardamom in their fragrance before. Cardemom has been seen a lot in the industry. It's really likable. I actually really love cardamom when it's in fragrances, but I do think that they could have done something perhaps a little bit different. I think that they could have, if they were going in this direction, maybe they could have done something to make this fragrance a little bit more unique, add a special note about it, maybe given it the fragrance a little bit of a polish with like some kind of like glossy note, or maybe maybe they could have stolen a little bit from the Amen line and put a tiny bit of a smoky rubber or something in this fragrance to make it more interesting. But that's just my opinion. I think this fragrance needed a little bit of a spark, a little bit of something to give it an interesting twist. And even though I like the fragrance and I enjoy it, did it surprise me, wow me, or excite me? Not terribly, but it's still a just decent fragrance. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time, everybody. Wear what you love, rock what you got, stay safe and beautiful. I'll catch you in the next fragrance video, and I'm always putting out a new video, so stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody, and bye.